Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Naishad Gadani coming to you from Melbourne. And this is your career down, no, sorry, career care package
I
150th
checked the show.
show.
You got so excited, and it being 150 shows, you're like, "Damn it! It's not a joint venture anymore. It's mine."
No,
Oh,
it
look,
is
I'll
career
announce the
care
show.
package.
Welcome to our 150th show from Interview IQ. Carolyn Brown, www.interviewiq.com.au.
That's it. We are done. It's really great to celebrate 150th show. It's something that me and Caroline experimented back in March, and we are still going. We are going stronger than ever. And I think, as Bunnings say in their in their headline, this is just the beginning, and that's how we feel like. The lowest price is just the beginning. 150 is just the beginning because
Yeah.
I think there's so much to know about jobs and career and different approaches, about networking, about resumes, about cover letters to
Not
interviews.
live.
There's got so many things to talk about, and we are, really grateful to have this opportunity to share those things with all of you, and also the amazing guests that have, sincerely opened their heart and minds to all of you on our show. So we thank all the guests who appeared on our show. And I've got some statistics. I'll probably rattle them through once Caroline does her introduction. So, Caroline Brown, welcome.
Thank you. I feel sort of welcome. I feel like you may have taken over the show and just snuck that one in under the radar niche. But yeah, no, it's really fantastic to be here. And I finally invested in some decent equipment. So I bought a light. As you might notice, it's a bit lighter coming through. So, and more coming. So more lights and umbrellas and stands and cameras. And I've made a commitment. It's going to be on. So yes, I am. Thanks, Intiaz. I'm happier because I am. I don't know why. Good to see you here. It's always lovely to see you here as well. So, yeah.
Excellent. So, as we reflected on our 150th show, I looked at some of the numbers, some of the statistics of our show. So, I'm just going to read some of the statistics to you, and then if you got any comment or feedback, please do let us know. So, number of shows that we have done is 150. Number of views that we looked at on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube is around 132,000. 127.
Wow.
Number of experts who graced our show are 113 experts. Now, here is the most important one. Number of questions that we have answered, whether we have answered or we have our guest answered, are 1,127 questions were
Wow.
answered. That's right. Number of countries that our guest really came from are is 5 countries, be it UK, France, India, New Zealand, and US. And a number of people who reported positive benefits, either we have received that I've got a job out of it, I've promoted because what I've listened to and what I've implemented, or how it has increased their confidence, they've been able to think differently, is around 27 people that we personally know that have benefited from this. And number of podcast download just out of those 149 episodes, which is around 5,277 podcast downloads. So that these are the statistics, and this just goes to show that the impact that we have made and we will continue to make even in future. Caroline.
Yes, so Kapil says next target 500 for sure, absolutely. We're going to keep it going. Gary says congratulations, Carolyn and Nation. Well, she says Nation and Carolyn, but I haven't forgiven you for the introduction, so I am putting my name first there. Nildara, who might have been paid for this comment, being your wife, has said this is awesome. Thanks, Nildara, and good luck in the council elections coming up. And Kapil says 6 including Australia, so yeah. Forgot that. 6 including Australian ish. And I wish
Yeah.
Barlin. I was just waiting for you. Here you are. Is 150 in any sort of culture and any sort of numerology and anything special in any way? Like you to go
It's
away.
151 is special.
Oh, okay. A
151
one.
is special. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you get Barlin to help you with compiling those numbers, Niche?
No, no, I learned it because my dad taught me all those things. Because the one that which ends with one
Yeah.
is which becomes very auspicious. Like for example, just to Balin would know, but to also let everyone know that when we go to especially in weddings or festivities, when somebody gives us money, they
Mm,
don't give us money which will end with zero. It has to
yeah.
end with one. So either
Okay.
you get, so that's why it's auspicious one. That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah. On
Barlin
151.
has
That's
said
right.
and confirmed that it's 151. So excellent. So we should go and get a Tats ticket with a one in it. Is that what you're saying at the end?
Yeah, I've tried that. It doesn't work that way.
Yes. So, purpose of the show, Niche, is to share our learning from what we know, what we've learnt, what we've heard from guests, and we'd love to get your insights on anything that we put up or any questions you have around what we'll talk about as well. So, we decided that we would share 5 insights each. So, Niche, do you want to kick it off?
Absolutely, I can kick that off. So yeah, so we're going to share 10 total insights that we got about jobs and careers or networking as such, and based on our experience, you can imagine that 149 episodes and listening to so many guests and everything, it was difficult for us to filter down, to just 10, but we've tried to keep it to 10 because we wanted to shares which are most profound ones that we have found. And you might have heard this before also, but now there is a lot of evidences into the work that we have done. Now we can say that this is what a lot of experts are also saying to us. Okay, so my first one is trying it out. I think taking action goes farther than just overthinking of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just consider this LinkedIn live that we started. It was just an idea, and we thought, let's just do it. And I'm pretty sure that in our careers and jobs specifically, we come across with many people that says, what, yes, I really want to, I know this CEO that I want to connect with and talk to him or her about it, but you don't do it, right? So trying it out, it is okay for you to fail. I really loved when Ben, who was here on Tuesday, he talked about how he got a job in blockchain, that he woke up and he had a dream, and that's what he told the CEO, that I have a dream to work with your company. I'm great, I can really help you out, right? And the rest is history. He really got something out of it. But you don't need to share those stories, but the point is to try it out. Don't withhold yourself from trying it out. I think that is the most important thing that I would say. KB.
Yes, I've actually written mine down to remind me because there are so many, and I don't know if you can see this, but it says, other way, I always get this wrong. Make networking a daily habit. And the reason I say that is that I never thought that we could do something that requires a lot of work daily. Like lots of people have said, how do you do this daily? But the thing is that you just do and you allocate the hours. So for me, I allocate an hour and a half in the morning to, getting the marketing ready, putting the LinkedIn post up, sorting out YouTube and promoting it and so forth. And so that's my hour and a half, 2 hour daily habit every day on top of doing this 30 minutes. And the reason that I share this is that I think we make these things really hard, but the idea is, as like Nesh says, is just to try it out. And if you just do it in small blocks, it keeps momentum up. The stopping and the starting is where you need more momentum to actually get going. And I think that's where the mind game come into it, because you've got to G yourself up again. We're motivated by seeing results. So if you're going to do anything like looking for a job and you know that you need to network, or anything like Nation and I do, make it a daily habit, because then it just becomes embedded into business as usual, and you'll have climbed the mountain before you even know it.
Absolutely. And Amit says that I remember you said to me hosting the show that the best way to put yourself out in the world. That's right. I think I think trying it out is very important. And I like what KB said around small steps. I'm pretty sure that we have heard this story before, that Rome wasn't built in a day, and that's right. It wasn't built in a day. Personal branding doesn't happen in a day. Nothing happens in a day, except it. You can mess up something in a second, but the building it really requires a
Don't
lot
scare
of time and discipline.
It's like they won't start building. Yes, no, but I agree. So, all right. Um, Pretty says, congratulations on reaching 150, and I believe congratulations are in order for you as well, Pretty. So, well done. Amit says, it's stuck. Action. Remember, you said to me, hosting this show is the best way to put yourself out to the world. It's stuck in my head, and thanks for the comment. Lovely people. Thanks, Amit. That's great. A LinkedIn user says, being consistent is a challenge. Yes, it is. But you can do it. We've proven it. So, what's your
Absolutely.
second?
Yeah, the second one is showcasing your personality. I think I've said that before also. I think there's a huge amount of pressure on all of us to stand out, and we feel that standing out requires any scientific understanding of yourself. And it's probably not. My view is that we all want to stand out, but we don't do the work that's required to stand out. And standing out is a gradual process, unless you obviously decide to buy an LCD screen just across the Flinders Street in Melbourne and you can stick your photo up there. Well, probably you'll continue to pay the loan for the rest of your life, but you stood out to the in the market, immediately. Standing out requires putting yourself out there. It may not just be on social media, and I want to emphasize on that as well. It might just be being available to people outside of social media, doing something that you really enjoy, putting a personality out there. If you got a point of view, talk about it. Don't withhold that point of view. So that's what I meant by showcasing your personality in your interaction, whether it's in your career or whether that's in your job search.
I love that, and I like the idea. The thing is that the numbers still stack up. In Barlin, you might know these numbers as well. Research around online communities is that 90% of people are lurkers, so they just consume. 8% of people like and give thumbs up, and 2% of people are actually content creators. So even if you don't think that you've got to offer anything particularly remarkable, still put it out there, in a professional sense, because you will stand out, because most of the population aren't actually doing it. And the rewards are absolutely immense, as both Nash and I know. So, yeah. So it's my turn. Is it? It is. Oh,
Yes, and before I've also put a link right in the LinkedIn live feed. If you want to come and share what have you learned,
yeah.
also feel free. It's a link. If you copy and put that on a Chrome browser, and you'll be able to come live as well and share what have you learned, out of listening to how many shows that you've listened to us. But we would love to also get few of you to come and share this moment with us as well. KB.
Okay, so this is tip number 2, which I still can't get this angle right. It's new lights. It says, can you see it? Up over my face. Make job searching fun. Now, I know that's really, it doesn't feel like fun, but I really, the thing that inspired me about what Ben was saying the other day, and the creative ways other people have found a job, is enjoy the process. Like, find ways to actually be curious around how you can improve or refine or modify or get other people to join in and help you. But try and enjoy the process, and then the outcome will come. You'll have a much better outlook on it. And I think one of the ways, just going back to Ben's video that we did the other day, was he got a group of 8 people together. And so accelerated that impact in doing it. But try and think about it it's a process of self-exploration, can be a process of meeting new people, I never thought that I would love that whole idea of when I first started my business of reaching out and meeting new people. But I've found so many like-minded people doing that. And starting a business and prospecting is exactly the same sort of process that you do in terms of looking for a job. So give yourself the idea that it can be fun, and make it fun. Find ways to make it fun and find ways to look after yourself in that process as well.
Absolutely. It's having fun or enjoying the process, if is equally important. In this, because it's a whether you're looking at career progression, you're looking at finding a new job, changing career, everything is a very lonely journey.
Mm,
And I emphasize on that because it is a lonely journey. Career is not something that everybody can understand. It's not. If you got a headache, people can understand how it feels.
mm,
But when it comes to career and job search, it's not easy for you to explain why you're failing, or why you're not able to explain that as well. So I think getting few people behind you, is really awesome. And I really like that idea of Ben, that he did that. I think out of 8 people, I think 2 people have already landed a job. It
mm.
just creates that scaffolding of confidence for people, that they can build on each other's shoulder. So absolutely.
The other thing about that, I just want to jump in there, is that you only need to your impact is accelerated 8 times by people's networks, or more than 8 times. But it's also your learning, so you don't need to learn everything by yourself. Everyone can focus on something different. So you can learn from other people's mistakes, but also their successes as well. So, and you've got a tribe that's on your side, which is so important. Amit says, not to boast you both. However, getting speakers every day for 149 episodes is no joke. You are both a true inspiration, taking massive action to help others. Kudos. Thanks, Amit. We really appreciate that.
And one LinkedIn user says that very good tip on the job search, and it has always been stressful, long, and lonely at times. Absolutely. So we got Amit here. He wants to join us. So let's welcome Amit on the
Hope you've brought
screen.
cake. Have you brought cake, Amit? Otherwise, you can't come in.
I got a nice
Yes, but it's not edible.
yeah. So we for now we'll just work it out till the time I reach. I had to come online and congratulate you both. I mean, again, I put it on the chat, but I wanted to say this. This it's not easy to get people every single day. I mean, I'm doing it twice a week, and it's not easy there as well. I got already 2 rejections. Yesterday was horrible. So, doing it for such a long time, requires patience, dedication, and doing it for others. Because what you do is for there are many people who come and see people like me, and it's quite challenging. So that's really kudos to you both. It's like amazing.
Thank you.
So how do you do that? How do you stick around all the time? That's the question.
Well, I think just it is about finding something that you enjoy, and both Nash and I bring different things to the table, but we both really enjoy this whole thing. So every day we look forward to 3 o'clock, and also meeting amazing people, both who are on the show and who interact with our show, like you. So it is about finding something that is fun and enjoyable. And Nash and I are also thinking about, like, this has been a time of kind of pivot for everyone, and what we can do to segue this back into our businesses and everyday life. So it is fun, and I think that's been really critical to it. But thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and saying that. It means a lot.
Yeah. And for me, I think one of the things is it's a team. So if I was doing it by myself, I would not have sustained consistency. So that's a challenge, because you're not accountable to anyone. And you will do it if you feel like doing it, right? But here is that, I think last 2 3 weeks I've not been great with getting or getting new guests and talking to them. And KB picked up a lot of slack, and she went out and found guests and did that, right? So I think that's why it works. And I can imagine if you're, I mean, trying to do this by yourself, that's what becomes very challenging, because if you don't do it, it doesn't make any difference, right? It's not a consequential thing, right? Sometimes I have to attend my work meeting and KB does it, and on few occasions KB had to do what she had to do, so I did that. So I think that's why it really works. And I completely agree with KB's views that we both bring different skills to this to LinkedIn Live in the background,
Yeah.
and that's what we really enjoy. But working in a team is something that works really, really well. And pivot, I think all of us are thinking about where to do, what to do next, where can I use my skills and everything else. And this has been kind of also pivot for us also, and keeping us sane in this very strange times. That's what I feel, Amit.
But
True.
kudos to you as well, Amit, because not everybody I mean, actually, it's going to be my next point, which is if it's to, can't read it, but it says, if it's to be, it's up to me, right? And so what you've done with your day, you picking up and, doing your LinkedIn lives is you're making it happen. And sure, it might not be perfect, but none of these shows are perfect. You'll get into a rhythm with people, knowing you, or a backlog of guests and things like that, and it will help you going forward to when you eventually are able to get to Australia and start to work. It's a reference to the type of personality and person you are. So yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
And
get into a rhythm with it.
yeah, and like I said that day, I'll say it again on live that you guys are the one of the core reasons. I mean, see, because I'll be very honest again, it really takes a lot of, everyone has content, I'm sorry, with them. We always, like you said, it's the 2% who actually puts out, right? And I've also seen how networking can happen. Like I've stopped applying jobs for like almost 2.5 months now. I know
Mm,
it's not the normal way, but I thought that it just doesn't make sense now. All
mm,
right, but what I've also gained is a lot of nice folks, connections where we connect, talk. You guys are one of the classic examples for me. But
mm,
you guys putting up the show every single day, and I'm like, all right, let me try. Okay, so so everything that I using of StreamYard, I used it from you guys because you had sent me a link earlier, so that's how I knew. And many things, right? So I'm just amazed. Now the next thing that I want to learn is that how I can network to get people all the time, because it is a little challenging. But I'll not take your time now. I just wanted to
Yeah.
really thank you guys because two things. It's really, really appreciative what you guys are doing every single day. Believe me, I go on sessions and I talk to many people. It's really amazing, and every single day without any expectations, you guys are giving, and that's the best part you can ever do.
mm.
And second is the consistency, determination, all of these things. So I just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you, Amit. That's very nice of you.
Thanks.
And all
God
the
bless,
best.
guys.
We'll watch
Thank you.
your journey with interest as well. So
Sure. I'll drop off. Continue. I'll listen. Thank you very much once
Thank you.
thanks.
again.
Thank you. We got a comment. Very good tip on job search. It has always been stressful, long, and lonely at times. And some user says, I'm participating for the first time, and I can sense the chemistry and consistency that both of you demonstrated. Well, you haven't seen us behind the scene. I'm sure many of the many have benefited by watching your shows, and many congratulations, best wishes. Thank you very much to the LinkedIn user who said this, and thank you, Amit, again for coming along. And if you want to come along and not just talk about how great the show is, but also talk about what have you learned out of the show, because I think that is the reward for us rather than the other reward. So we would definitely appreciate it's the links available in that. Come along, and let's have some fun. All right, it's my turn to share the third thing. Is it's an it's a pretty Australian way of saying that don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't understand the full background of it, but what I say is that consider careers and job search like a popcorn machine. Put all those activities in one giant popcorn machine. Put all the masala, all butter, everything, and just turn on the heat. Just turn on the heat. What do you mean by heat? Consistent actions, take actions. I really like, go back to what Ben said, is that he used to have different actions that he would take in a day. If he doesn't want to apply for a job on that day, don't bother, just go and network. If you feel like the networking is enough, you are just absolutely don't want to do it, go and do some other activity. So I think you got to have diverse activities planned for your action, not just necessarily once you get a job, but beyond. Even for your career progression, have diverse activities that you could do and continue to turn on the heat. That's my third thing. KB.
Yeah, I don't know what "don't put all your eggs in one basket" actually means, but I guess if one breaks, they all break. But it's really just relying on one opportunity. But I liked how you turned an Australian saying into with an Indian flavour by putting masala on popcorn. So I'd love to taste that. Be really nice. So yeah, exactly. You plant the seeds and watch them grow, and the right opportunities will blossom from that. But if you rely on just one at a time, then you're attaching your self-worth and your happiness to that one outcome, which may or may not deliver, and may or may not deliver on its promise if you get it. If you give yourself the chance to have more opportunities, then you come to the party with a sense of confidence, because people can smell that kind of desperation if you are actually desperate. It's the same in dating, it's the same in life, and it's the same in careers. So okay, so number 4, I've forgotten what number 4 is. Yeah, now this is an interesting one for me, and it might seem a bit bizarre to say this, but it's again, you probably can't read it, but there's no one-to-one relationship between giving and receiving. So never expect that the fact that you've given value will come in the same value return from that one person, because quite often it doesn't. Some people don't see the world that way. Some people are too busy. Some people do not think to reciprocate. Even though I think we are reciprocal creatures, not everybody is. So if you're doing some activity like what Nash and I are doing in terms of networking, or podcasting, or making introductions, or giving value, the person that you give value to may not return that, and that's completely normal. That's completely okay. But just know the act of doing that, A, makes you feel good, and B, if you're doing something publicly like Nash and I are, or even, say on LinkedIn, that someone will see that. Someone will see that act of generosity. So, if you come to it with a one-to-one kind of attitude, and attach too much to one person or one thing, same going back to the "don't put all your eggs in one basket" thing, you'll be disappointed. But just know that the act of doing it, A, makes you feel good, and B, other people will see that as well.
Absolutely, KB. If I can add to that, is that if you know I think particularly on LinkedIn or the social media that we look at, I think people are observing what we are doing. They may not act on that. So they may not immediately react to what you do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are not observing or they are not watching you at all.
Mm.
People act when they want to act. People act when they need you. People act when they think that now it's time for them to do something.
Mm.
But and that's what I think that we all need to be aware of. I'm pretty sure that people who do not watch our shows, people who do not comment or like our shows, I'm pretty sure that they know that Naishad and Caroline appears 3 p.m. Melbourne time with this show. They appear there. It's their choice whether to not do that or not. right? But I think people do take notice of that, and that's what I want all of us to really, sort of consider that, that people will react or people will respond when they want to respond, not when you expect them to respond.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Uh, Dignity to say, I'm convinced that being humble, respectful, and gracious and compassionate is the key to be successful in life. Well, absolutely,
Unless you're a cat.
cannot disagree. Say that again.
Unless you're a cat.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. That's totally
Yeah.
true.
Now, the fourth thing for me is be creative. Um, you know, Creativity is not just for advertising and marketing people. Creativity could be an engineer also. We have had Praful, if you know, he's created that amazingly, creative, video resume, which had thousands of views on it, right? And because he infused his creativity, in that resume, because he felt that he has got a creative side and he can infuse it. What I meant, so be creative. If you think that there is a creative side of you, there is something that you want to change the tone of the resume, or if you want to change the approach of the resume, do that. I remember one of a international graduate sent me a LinkedIn invite, and she customized it. But then she also posted a link of her video bio and said, "This is what I've created." Now that was absolutely beautiful. And the video bio that she created was starting from her journey from coming as an international student, participating, in various activities, winning awards, and now that she's looking for a job. That was just like a 3-minute thing, and that was absolutely beautiful and really thoughtful in that. So be creative. If you've got a creative thinking, demonstrate that. You don't need to be just in marketing or advertising to be able to do that, KB.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. And just you may have noticed that Nashad has been doodling a lot, and putting those doodles up on LinkedIn. And I think just little acts like that, instead of sort of your stock photos or your amazing saying and view on life, that creativity. Don't be afraid to showcase that, because that has actually attracted a lot of attention and given what we do a whole new visual meaning, I think, that people actually get. So creativity doesn't necessarily mean, being a whiz-bang photographer or whatever. It could just be simple things. I remember a little example years and years ago when I was looking for a job. I'd been doing some volunteer work, and I was working in this as an HR person, or wanted to work as an HR person, contract at the time, and I'd been volunteering, and I sent an email to the manager of the warehouse, and in the her name was Esther, and if I put looking for a job, she probably wouldn't have opened the email, but I put in it, "Why not pester Esther?" And she answered. It's like, it's the right time, right place, whatever, but you put your personality in there, because that's basically what people want to see. So yeah, okay, so tip number 5 from me is know your value. It's easy to lose your sense of who you are when you're looking for a job and putting yourself out there. But do some stuff that makes you feel really good. Surround yourself by people that will affirm your value, and know your value, because you do have value. If you have to go and write your achievements out every day, then do that. If you have to go and record something every day, then do that. If you have to go and ask somebody who you trust every day what you're good at, but just really know your value, because you do have something valuable to offer, even if you don't think that you do. And do whatever it takes to actually remind yourself of that, because that's the gift that you give to the world, that sense of a can-do attitude. And I think people routinely underestimate what they can actually do. So the perception of what they can do is down here, but the reality is actually way up there. So even if you go to something that seems like a goal for you, your capability is probably a lot higher.
I agree, and I think that's a default setting that we all have. Is undervaluing is a very default setting. Uh, I think that goes to just show that we usually tend to play a little bit under than what we are capable of as well. So I fully agree with you on that one. Knowing that, sometimes knowing that itself is a power. When you step into that knowing of your true value, it's a very powerful space to operate from, as well. So that's beautiful, and that ties into the last thing that I want to talk about, is that immerse yourself in your vocation. Do the work required. I think I today only I noticed a tweet by somebody who's probably into a management consulting or something. I'm just going to find if I can find the tweet of it, but I think there's just too much. Especially if you're on LinkedIn, you try to become kind of, there are two things. One is the perception of you knowing something, and you knowing something really. And I
Mm,
think knowing something really, is more profound. I keep on saying this, that there are so many thought leaders that I know that even don't have an account on LinkedIn.
mm,
They don't need the world to tell them that they are a thought leader,
mm,
because their work speaks for them, speaks volume. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the video of I think the physics professors who won the Nobel Prize. If you see the video of the neighbor, who is the other scientist who won the prize, actually went probably in the midnight and pushed a doorbell to the other scientist, and he said, "Why you're not picking up the phone call? We just got this Nobel Prize confirmation." And he said, "Oh, okay, all right." And just feel like that, they are so much immersed in their vocation and the work that they do. And I think that is very important. That speaks beyond those 5, 10, 15 likes or few comments that you get. I think nothing can really take away the work that you do. So that's what I want all of us to focus on. Get the work right, then you can
mm,
talk about anything else, KB.
mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Amit says that you're getting better at doodling. So, Pankaj says, congrats, it's difficult to watch and join the shows often live, but great work to you both. A LinkedIn user says, maybe if time permits, you can share one of my creative thoughts with your users. Yes, there's a link, so if you want to go and have a look at that, have a look at that. Noor says, congratulations. And Sarah says, I like the way you said, Nashad, that our default setting is not high. To sell, that's where the challenge starts, and how to overcome that. There's a question for you.
Yeah, I have not fully overcome that challenge, so I can't really tell you. But I think anything starts with awareness. If you know that you are underselling yourself, or if you know that you're worthy of certain level and you are not doing it, I think it starts with awareness, and then finding out what really stops you. It could be few things that really stops us, whether it is to sound sort of imposter. There's an imposter syndrome really plays over that, whether you're not capable or not. So I think more or less there's somebody who sits somewhere here, and continues to talk, whether you're not this enough, you're not this enough, you're really not clever enough. If you and I are able to ask that person to shut the mouth for some time, I think then it is easy for you to step into that power. I think the whole game is, how long can we ask this person to shut down? Can we really master this person to put that aside? Is the real game that we all have to. It's kind of a constant thing that we all have to not fight, but we all have to be aware of and put that aside. That's what I would say, Saira. I've not. I
I
wish I
think,
can answer a straightforward,
yeah,
straightforward. Yeah.
I wanted to say something on that, because it's not always just about telling your voice to be quiet. That's an awareness that you have a voice that's telling you that. A lot of the time, that voice is gone. that the person that's pulling those strings is gone, the way that you've been conditioned to grow up is gone, but you're still listening to that invisible voice. So if you're not aware, not everyone has an awareness that they don't think that they're good enough. But just be observant of your behavior. And if you're not doing something, just ask yourself, why not? Why am I not doing that? And then that might expose what that fear is that might hold you back as well.
Absolutely. So I think we have run out of tips. There's no more tips, at all. We will probably, yeah. If you still want, we got 5 more minutes. If you want to jump on
Can I eat my
our
cake?
LinkedIn live, I'll also get my cake. Also, wait there. Okay. Yeah. If you want to come along and be part of our LinkedIn live, we are here for next 5 minutes. We will probably be able to include you. But any other thoughts, KB, that you have?
Not really. It's Friday afternoon. My brain's not working, but why not tell people what's coming up next week, Nish?
Absolutely. So we are continuing our journey. So we are not stopping at all. As I think, someone said 500. Why not? Actually, why not? Because I forgot to tell Amit. I think he talked about how do you get these many guests and everything. And I've said that even before also, that what me and Caroline does is that we go and find interesting stories about careers and jobs. That's precisely what we do, and we approach that. We don't like to give an example. I've today only approached somebody from a website called Hacker Noon, and he found a job using Facebook ads with Tesla. So he found a job just smartly placing Facebook ads, targeting the Facebook ads so that only Tesla employees can see that, right? And he found a job through that. So I've approached him today and said, you know what, I really want to get you on our show and share your story, because that's an amazingly smart way to do that. And I've also seen similar strategies even done in Australia also. But that's what is kind of transpired, our thinking, KB.
Yeah, no, I
So
love
that's
that.
what my thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Gosh, people are doing so many creative things and putting themselves out there as well. So
Absolutely. And yeah, so next week we have got, let's say, you got somebody talking about growth mindset, because I think that's an emerging area of whether you are in career or business, but how do you develop a growth mindset? So you got somebody coming from India talking about that. Then on Tuesday we are going UK, so it will be a 7 p.m. show on Tuesday evening. We are speaking to Tony Ballot, who is an international recruiter, but he runs his own podcast of Career Movers Secret. And he's going to come and talk about hidden job market tactics, which is something that we all want to hear. And the on Wednesday we are will have Brooke Cookson. She volunteers with Jobs for Australia, and she's going to come and talk about how do you really plan your smart job search. What are the things that you really have to nail down before you even start to go and approach the market. And on Tuesday we have a very inspirational guest. He's an absolutely profoundly amazing story. He came here as an international student, intern with ICT Geelong, and became a general manager in a very short span of time. Now he runs his own company, and he's founded a couple of startups as well. He's got a big development, company, website, and a lot of other cool stuff that he does. So he's going to come and talk about how did he do that just in a span of 5 to 6 years. It's a really beautiful but really inspirational story. So that's what we are going to kind of talk about on Thursday. And Friday we'll be back with our parliamentary 0 hours question answers. So that's what's happening next week, KB.
yeah, it's going to be a cracker of a week, and really looking forward to it. If you're watching this show for the first time, you're probably not, but anyway, you know the usual nag from me. Follow the hashtag Career Care Package. If you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the bell to get the notifications. And hopefully in Victoria, we'll get a great announcement from Daniel Andrews about what we can do, and hopefully that'll include a hairdresser. That's all I'm saying. I really need a haircut. I'm sick of lockdown hair. So, I
I'll
put
probably send him a tweet.
up on LinkedIn with her career pivot cutting my dad's hair, but I'm a little scared to ask her. She's a bit dangerous, this is. So, but yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Have a great weekend, and Nash, I'll let you do the
All
same.
right. Yeah, that's it. This is the cake.
That's fantastic.
150th show. Okay.
So my little-
Well, I'll be sending this virtually to everyone with a piece of cake. But that's the cake for today, 150. So thank you very much, everyone who were able to join us and be part of our small and mighty celebration. And we will see you again on a Monday, same time, 3 p.m. with the same pretty faces. Until then, look after yourself, stay happy and stay healthy. And if you got any questions, please send it to us. We'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Until we see you,
Bye, everyone.
bye for now. Bye.